We are CopBlock, Greater Cleveland CopBlock, and CopBlock.org, taking a ride with Dale Brown, the Threat Management Center in Detroit. Things look quiet in the Motor City, and the dog face is rested easy.
We don't want to do anything that crosses over into what they do, because we like to get there before things happen so we can stop problems from happening.
Right. Sounds like a better plan than the police to me.
Our objective is to create a condition where nothing negative takes place, not try to figure out what negative thing is already taking place.
Right on.
So what we do is we scan. We do not patrol. We don't believe in patrolling. We believe in scanning. Scanning is defined as 3 separate actions that we do simultaneously: deter, detect, and defend, in that order. So our objective is to deter situations from taking place, detect situations before they can actually be implemented, and defend people as needed from violent criminals.
I don't put my face on the website.
Yeah, we're real big supporters of his efforts, so that would be cool. Okay. So yeah, if you want to maybe introduce yourself, whatever capacity you feel comfortable, and then maybe how you came to be here today. How'd you get in touch with Threat Management Center?
Okay. Right now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So, I came in contact with, became familiar with threat management last December, when I was physically attacked by an individual. And the prosecutor's office, I was trying to get a PPO cert at that point in time. And because I wasn't working, didn't have the money to go pay the sheriff to, do all these things, they suggested that threat management was a place where domestic violence victims could come and they would assist in getting the PPO cert. Threat management did all they could to try to serve this individual. Unfortunately, he had been on the run since he was just arraigned just over a week ago. So they weren't able to get him served initially. So then I got the call to come to court for the prelim. And I was informed that 36th District Court does not have police officers in the courthouse anymore. They have a hired third-party security. The only police officers are the ones that are actually in the courtroom, per se, if they're actually in there. So at that point, I was feeling a little uneasy about, going to the court date, and, wasn't sure if I was going to run into family members or, of the defendant. So once again, they referred back to threat management. They said for, domestic violence cases, they will, provide you an escort to court, make sure that, you get there okay. They'll sit with you during the whole process, and then escort you back to your vehicle. To me, that was like light shining, all that good stuff, because I was at a loss. I didn't know what to do. I'm thinking, like, you take the police out of the courtrooms, and then you want victims to just come and go. And, I know personally different people that, have been in situations like that they were attacked, just trying to get back to their car, after the court date. So the first court date was last Thursday. Then they were lollygagging. The attorney that I was with even did a wardrobe change in the middle of it all. This is no joke. The judge called him out on that, and so ended up getting adjourned. So then, we were here today, and so at this point, it's been held over. I think I did pretty good. He was getting pretty frustrated with me. The judge even has to tell him, like, she's not going to answer your question any other way, so I don't know. It's really, I had no idea that you guys, like, even did what you guys do, and I'm not like I know there's people that have been in domestic violence situations, and it's like they're repetitive. This was like a one-shot, like, oh my God, out of the blue type of thing, and I would never go down that road, like, ever again. But, just the service that you guys provide, it's like just the sense of knowing that, okay, I'm going to be able to get into the courthouse, be able to give whatever type of testimony I have to give, and I'll be able to get back to my car safe. Even just that sense of, you know, that sense of security is priceless. It's priceless. I mean, I don't know. I ramble, so no one
you
wants me to
said
stop.
you said when you learned about the threat management center, there was like lights flashing, and now you're saying it's you know.
Well, yeah, it was,
like, so
because,
your impression
yeah.
was like it's gonna be good, but it's you've been.
Yeah, I mean, and I knew that whatever, you know, whatever his attorney was gonna bring, he was gonna bring, which he had no ground to stand on. That's why the judge just shut him down today, like, you know what, it's time to go. But just the sense, like I said, the sense of security, the sense of knowing that I'm gonna be able to get to this court date safely and get back to my car safely without somebody following me, without somebody jumping on me on my way from the courthouse to the parking lot, you know, all those different things. Just that sense of knowing that I am the victim in this case, you know. I shouldn't have to act like more of a victim than I already am. You know what I mean? So just that sense of being able to, like I said, just come and present my case and come and show up without being like, okay, you know, somebody gonna jump on me, you know, when I leave here, or just a sense of knowing that is like, seriously, it's priceless.
Remove the feeling of terror from you.
It completely, and then it was really refreshing because the two individuals, I don't want to say the name wrong, but the two individuals that escorted me were the same ones that were last week. I know that doesn't happen all the time, you know, but it was even just nice to see the same face, you know, that I saw last week when I was there, and you know, you kind of get a bit of rapport that makes you even more comfortable, you know, to know that, yeah, we're here for you, you know, maybe he will
Threat
support
management
them or
division.
whatever the case may be, but it was comforting to hear, like, you know, they're completely, you know, on this cause, and they're here for me. I'm good. You
It's
know,
excellent.
yeah, I mean, it
Can't
really
hardly
was.
have a
So,
better testimony.
yeah,
Just
so
anything that we touched on, if you'd like to weigh in on that, like maybe some of your background or why you got involved in the mission today was like, or experiences.
Today's particular mission was a victim protection at a courthouse, and we provide a service that provides the victim with a sound mindset so that they can be able to testify and do what they need to do without fear of threat, without fear of being harmed by whomever is pursuing them in whatever way, shape, or form, and that's invaluable. That in itself is invaluable.
What motivated you to get involved with Threat Management Center? How did you learn of Threat Management Centers?
I learned through Threat Management Center through a variety of social media, online references. I got involved here because their methodology in tackling a situation is a little bit more positive than come in and kicking butt, taking names, you will do what we say. Their way of facilitating the situation is more positive. They use psychological downplays to get an individual to voluntarily leave the situation. There's no lawyer fees, there's no prison time, there's no money involved. It's just everybody goes their own way peacefully and with all their limbs intact, rather than coming in and taking names.
So obviously, while you're here, there's lots of training, you're learning new skills, but you probably came to the table with some skills of your own that were relevant. Can you touch on that?
I've been a military police officer for the last 9.5 years. I just got back from Afghanistan, spent 2 years there. My profession over there was tutoring Afghan female police officers with basic police knowledge, tactics, firearms, police taking.
What would you say, what's been the most surprising thing about being involved with Threat Management Center?
Just the way that they handle things. This is a unique company in that I've never seen a protective agency offer so many services. One, two, be very community involved, and number three, just again, the way that they handle things is very important, because violence begets violence, and this way everybody goes home happy.
Can I just ask you one thing?
Yes.
When you came back from Afghanistan, were you looking to get into the police? And that's how you got?
I more or less wanted to stay within the law enforcement / protective tactical field.
Okay, thanks.
And would you say that a similar service is being provided by law enforcement, or is it something that's unique to threat management and other services?
think the way that threat management services deals with things is significantly different than the way police deal with things. Being a police officer, I have been able to see both sides of the fence, if you will. Police are more trained and adapted to handling things aggressively because we are the authority, we are the law, you will do what we say. Whereas threat management services more asks the person to think of a situation prior to commencing whatever they're intending on doing.
Anything else you think we haven't covered that you think folks might want to know about or you think important to share?
Just the reason I like this company is it's just the way they handle things differently. That things don't always have to be handled with violence. And with this particular company, they focus on protection of women, children, victims, and not necessarily, usually within the state, federal system, that's not really the priority. The priority is prosecution. Here, it's protection.
Do you want to leave a question here or ask?
Sure. Yeah, if you don't mind introducing yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Shadara Walker, and I'm a team member here at SCU.
And how long have you been working with threat management center?
Approximately 4 weeks now.
And how would you find what is attracting you to threat management center as a career?
Well, what attracted me, I was already in the line of doing security, and once I came in, interviewed, and did my research and found out more information about it, it was the positive things that they do for the citizens.
Were you always interested in private security, or were you considering law enforcement at all?
At one point, I considered law enforcement, and once I entered here and found out the positive things that they do for human life, I thought that was remarkable, and I wanted to be a part of it.
And in your 4 weeks here, what have you experienced, or has there been anything notable that's beyond your expectations?
I had a lot of training, which was really exciting to me because it was a positive way. It built a lot more confidence in me on being able to do my job more effectively. The more one-on-one, because they do more one-on-one to make sure that you do your job great. I have also helped clients, and I enjoy doing it at the time. And I see the appreciation come from the clients as well.
And how is Threat Management Center utilizing technology to make your job easier and make the community safer?
Documentation. To me, documentation takes you a long way. Everything that we do is documented, and we communicate through our documentation as well. So that is a big plus. Also, anytime that I'm out on patrol or on site, there's always someone in communication with me, so we are always linked in together. So if I ever need any assistance, I have someone there immediately for me, which in one case I did need someone there, and they did respond immediately and pursued help.
I don't know if you have anything to use.
So you mentioned one thing that attracted you to Threat Management Center was how they interact with people, not like forcefully as much, but try to bring about a peaceful solution. Can you expand on that, how that differs from what you perceive with police sometimes responses?
Yes, it's not directly with being aggressive, which is a plus. You humanize everybody, they make everybody human, and we remain human and humble, and which I respect that because then I don't have to go in with intensity on trying to seduce somebody, just breaking down. I can go in and more talk to them. A lot of people react better to a conversation than to you coming aggressively towards them. And you can resolve a lot of issues just by communicating in a positive manner. Body language tells a lot about how part of your outcome is going to start in a possible way that may end.
Do you guys film each other? I mean, you have like dash cams and stuff like that? Or
You said dash cam?
like dash cameras and things like that? You record when you're out there in the field and doing your thing?
No, we have iPads and iPhones.
Okay,
Yes, that's what we utilize at this time.
cool.
You film every time you have an interaction with a client, you're supposed to film it, is that correct?
Yes, or situations. We film, or if any kind of situation that goes make sure that's part of our documentation.
Cool.
I'm satisfied.
I'm good.
Take control and just walk them to a position of safety. If they're compliant, it stops here. If they're non-compliant, then we're gonna pull back on their elbows and still maintain the same direction. Their vertical plane is broken, so they have no strength. But if we're here and they become more aggressive, then our hands go here, here, and here, and here we sit them down. And from here, we're able to take them under control and secure their arms. In the event they're more aggressive, they put their hands in a fight, we're going to come here and still subdue them and take them into custody.
Is there a particular
Nice.
martial art or self-defense training, like regiment that you guys employ, or is it a variety of techniques?
It's a system I created called the Eclecticon. It's a blended style system. The Eclecticon blends together all your different martial arts, but it makes it simpler to apply. So here there's only 3 objectives, and that's to escape, control, or immobilize threats. Escape, control, or immobilize. There's no fighting. So when the person puts his hands to fight, there was never a choice for us to come up with different fighting options to just want to fight the person. So we're either going to escape from the person by getting away from them, or we're going to come in and take control of them. Or we come in to immobilize them and take them into custody. But standing there exchanging blows in a fighting scenario is not an option for us. And so there's many different options. The person is pointing. Instead of coming in and figuring out a way to strike the person, here we come in. We're able to take control of them without any strikes. Puts his hands out to block. He's blocking me. And this is what we teach police officers. Instead of the officer going like this, and the officer comes here, it says, please don't touch us when we're talking, sir. You can lay the person all the way to the ground and say, sir, put your hands behind your back. This is very painful, but there's no breaking of bones, no strikes. He cannot move, he cannot move, he cannot get a weapon out. That's how much pain is exhibited here. And we're able to take him into custody from here.
It hurts.
But you never had to hit them. When he goes to block, he pushes here. Instead of me going bang, bang, I'm going to come here, 1, 2, and take him into custody. If I want to take him differently, 1, 2. He points. 1. We have total control of the person. So there's no need to injure people.
Awesome.
That's a good thought, yeah.
Good stuff. Appreciate the demo.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Extra services to help people in case they are stranded or their vessel goes down. We go out throughout the summer and we don't take it out until November normally. And anytime the vehicle our vessel is stranded on the water, we actually rescue them for free. Tow them to the side and tow them back to the marina if it's in the area. It's just one of the things we do as a community service. We've done for the past 10 years here in the Detroit area, right on the channel between Canada and the United States. No, very positive. They usually pull up, get brochures and videos and they usually get business cards from us, videos, whatever we have on the boat, brochures, and they're invited to come to the law enforcement training, which is free every Monday for all law enforcement officers. And the Coast Guard that are out there, those are the law enforcement division of Coast Guard, so they respond very well to that. We've had some of them attend our courses.
This is Dio with Greater Cleveland CopBlock here with Pete Air and Garret Ian in Detroit.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Go over what we did today.
What a wonderful day we had. We started out pretty early this morning. Picked up our friend Dio. Well, I had known Dio from before, but this is my first time meeting you. Cool dude. And yeah, we headed down to the Threat Management Center here in Detroit. It's a one-of-a-kind place, very unique, where the founder, Dale Brown, has had a certain philosophy under which he's guided his organization, and that's public safety and commitment to protecting the community over the safety of himself and his employees. And so it's a philosophy that police do not have. They're taught that their safety is paramount when they approach situations. But this new, maybe it's not that new, but it's a different approach to community safety that isn't all that common. That's being tried here in Detroit to wonderful success. We met with, there were victims, we met today with a victim of domestic violence who the Threat Management Center provided the free service of escorting to and from court, where often there could be intimidation by aggressors. And in this instance, there had been issues where there was a possible threat of intimidation. And now there's laws against witness tampering, but here in Detroit we heard so many stories today about the lack of action by the police, even when there is a known aggressor, even when there's known violence. It's almost like, unless it's really top of the rung stuff like, oh, it was a stabbing, not a shooting, well, we don't have time for that.
Even the top of the rung stuff, the guy said the home invasion they did nothing about.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they'd killed the guy, they would have at least sent an officer out, but that wasn't even the case, so they didn't bother. So that's the one thing about Detroit. There's a lack of police, a pretty strong lack of police presence here, and in a sense, you know, it's a good thing as far as police not abusing people's rights in more obvious instances. However, they do still have a reputation of people trying to avoid them, there being some threat to people's safety, and that recording them is something that is not that common. So we came out here with one of the purposes, myself and Pete, to put some police officers on the record, document their actions, make sure that it's not a strange thing but a normal thing and something that they should be used to and accept and expect. Today we got to learn from a totally different perspective, someone who's doing police accountability in a sense that's not really direct police accountability, it's self-accountability, and the services that the police aren't providing, or maybe it's not even in their interests, or they have no incentives to provide. So yeah, it was a wonderful learning experience cruising around and learning things from Dale Brown today.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was glad this day was able to happen. We're in Detroit for the sixth stop of the Police Accountability Tour and CopBlock.org/tour. And I was looking forward to connecting with Dale again, him and his crew. I met them in February when I was out here, and a year before that I had learned about them and written a short post at CopBlock about them. And just, you know, with each interaction had, it just, you know, underscores how much different, as Garret touched on, that model is in the current sort of policing one. Where, you know, today police employees say, I have to get home at night to my family, therefore I'm gonna default to shoot in a questionable situation. And whereas to juxtapose those at the Threat Management Center, you know, they won't shoot unless they're shot at first. That way there's no question, oh, that's a toy gun and it was a kid, my bad, I'm gonna go home anyway, you know. So like, it's just those kind of things. It's the proper incentives, and that's really what the police state apparatus today lacks. So anyway, it was cool that Dale was able to come up and meet us. We communicate frequently online, and he's definitely been growing his efforts out that way. So it's, you know, to me it just shows his interconnectedness. Dale was very appreciative of, like, you know, some of the folks that I guess have contacted and communicated with them since the last time we were out here. So it's really cool just to see good people come together, and in the areas of overlap, Dale was really an advocate of transparency. Everything he and his colleagues do is documented. Every interaction they have with a customer or somebody is documented with video, and like all the vehicles have GPS track, you know, maps, and you know, everything's documented and transparent. And with that, you know, people act peacefully, and without it, like we see today, police don't think themselves accountable. They won't even give you their name and badge number sometimes, and they're definitely not transparent, and you see what happens. So yeah, just excited, and we'll definitely have some good content coming out. I think we're both going to upload the raw footage. I'll upload some to youtube.com/CopBlockRaw,
And you'll be able to find mine at youtube.com/FR33MANTVRAW, Freedom TV Raw.
Awesome. Awesome. Dio with Greater Cleveland CopBlock, Pete and Garrett here in Detroit. Loving it. Good to see my friend Pete again. I love it. Right on. Garrett, new friends always. New friends, good friends. Right on.